Monitoring Docker containers. There are various challenges facing container monitoring. The first one is because containers reside between the underlying infrastructure and the user application, which makes it very difficult to monitor using the existing tools in the industry. Also, containers are really dynamic. They are spawned and destroyed so quickly that the metrics need to be pulled very fast. The multiplication of containers is also very dynamic. Since containers take such small time to spawn, they can be spawned in very large numbers, and this leads to a metric burst. So a lot of metrics can be collected in a very short time, which is a great challenge in monitoring. There is a change in the monitoring landscape, especially in the application front. Earlier, we would have monitoring at a bare application level, but now, since applications are starting to run inside containers, we have container monitoring as well as applications residing inside containers which need to be monitored. There are various interesting metrics which a couple of tools are able to monitor for Docker containers. These are CPU usage percentages, memory usage, network I/O like throughput, bandwidth, memory usage in terms of MBs, and also disk I/O. For example, the I/O is connected to that container's behavior. The tools that we are going to demonstrate today are Docker Stats, Docker Remote API, and cAdvisor. The first one is Docker Stats, which gives us the following information about a particular container or about all the containers running on the machine. So as you can see, the first screenshot talks about the list. It gives a list of the containers that are running for me and also the statistics related to them. In case you want to observe a container by the ID, you can also provide the ID of that container and view the statistics for that particular one. I'll give a short demonstration of how this works. These are the containers that are currently running for me. So I go ahead and give a Docker Stats command. You see that it gives me the statistics for all the containers that I have spawned for myself, and these will be changing dynamically as well. I can also give an ID, a particular ID, which gives me information about that container only. The next tool that we are going to try is Docker Remote API. This is the one which returns output in a JSON format and can be called via a curl command or through the Poster or Postman client in your browser. This is the simple curl command that tries to pull statistics from a particular container, and it runs on a port which is configurable in the conf file for the remote API. I can give the ID of the container that I want to monitor, and it gives me a dynamically updating information for this container. Since this is not readable, so I'm going to take this information and put it into a small tool that I have, which formats it into a JSON form. So I'll go ahead, paste it here and process it, and you see that it gives me quite a lot of statistics about this container, which can obviously be used in any application to pull and format as you require it. Docker Remote API is quite popular for applications that want to remotely pull statistics and also want to format it in a way that the application requires. The next tool that we demonstrate today is the cAdvisor. This is a really interactive UI based tool which runs as a container alongside the containers that you already have running, and it gives you all the metrics in a UI form, but which will last only for 1 minute and it will be updated after that. This has a command to be run where you can specify the port where you want your cAdvisor to run, and also which is not demonstrated here is to add a database to store these metrics for later use. I'll demonstrate this here. This is the command. The name of the container that I want to run is cAdvisor_me, which is going to be where I'm going to monitor statistics. Okay, since I already have this port busy, I'm going to monitor it at some other port. You see that cAdvisor is now running on my machine and it has returned an ID for this process, that is the cAdvisor. I go and monitor this from the UI to see how my UI looks. So this is where I get all the statistics related to my Docker containers, and this is a dynamically updating one which will be purged every 1 minute. This is a screenshot of the network statistics or the CPU statistics, other than the various other metrics that you can view from cAdvisor. This is a simple comparison of these 3 tools that we demonstrated today. You can see that cAdvisor is the one which gives a really interactive GUI, and Docker Remote API gives a JSON object which makes it quite application friendly. Docker Stats is simple if you need to view a limited number of metrics. Docker Remote API is the one which is quite widely used in applications. These are the alternatives to monitoring Docker Stats, which can also be used, but we were not able to demonstrate today. You can see that a few of them are, you need to subscribe for them and pay for them, but the others are free to use.